Mark Frechette from Georgetown County School District, and the purpose of today's video is to show students and teachers how to make sure that all of their e-learning assignments are going to be accessible on e-learning days if students in grades 3 through 8 are borrowing a Georgetown County School District Chromebook. This video and this process will ensure that students have access if they're borrowing a GCSD Chromebook, whether or not they have Wi-Fi availability or not at home. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. And kind of dating back to my days in construction, we would call this measuring twice and cutting once. So essentially what students are going to do is they're going to have to do this for each of their assignments for e-learning. And again, we would recommend that those files be Google files, whether they are Google Doc, Google Slide, or Google Sheets. Again, those three types of Google files, if the teacher is making a copy for each student, will make this really easy for the students and make it accessible so that way they can access these and learn from these during e-learning days. So it's really easy. They'd repeat this process for each of their assignments. So I'm going to show you how I would do it for one. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the class or the Google Classroom rather that I have the assignments in. And again, when you go to Google and you log in, you just click on the waffle and then you'd click on Classroom and select your class. So for this one, I'm in one of the classes. I have an assignment. It's posted right here. It's called Making the Best Prediction. So when I click on this as a student, you're going to see that, again, it's going to tell me what the title of the assignment is. It's going to give me directions right over here. And then you'll notice that my work is right over on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I would read this through. Hopefully my teacher would go over it with me. It says that I need to use this slide to make the obvious prediction for Super Bowl 55 MVP. So I'm going to click right now on this work. And you'll notice this is a Google slide. So it's going to open the work for me as a student. And I'm going to wait for this little folder up here to appear. I want this to load fully onto my Chromebook. So I'm just going to give it a second, a little bit of patience, and you'll see as this Google slide appears and it loads. Once the folder appears up here, before we were suggesting to students that they'd move this folder. However, now we don't need to move this at all. So because I opened this assignment inside my Google Classroom, it's now going to, when I close out of this, and I'm just going to go ahead and close this down, and I'll go ahead and close this as well. So I'm going to minimize my classroom, and then I'll come down here. We'll go down to the launcher. Other students are calling this the foxhole. So I'll go ahead and click on this. And now I'm going to come straight to Files. So again, I didn't have to move anything. I just opened it inside Google Classroom, opened the file, saw that the folder loaded, and then I'm going to come right up here to this where it says Recent. I'm going to click on Recent, and then you'll see the last, again, file that I opened on this Chromebook is going to appear first. So I'm just going to do step 2 now of this, and I'm going to open this through the launcher. I'm still connected to Wi-Fi, but I just want to go ahead and make sure that it opens once again. You'll see again, I'm just going to wait for that folder to go ahead and appear. And once the folder appears, it should have loaded completely in here. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to, again, I'm going to close these and I'm going to come back here and I'm going to disconnect my Wi-Fi. After I disconnect from the Wi-Fi, I'm just going to go ahead and double check to make sure that it's still accessible. So I'm going to come down to the launcher, aka the foxhole. I'm going to come to the files. And then I'm going to go back up to recents. Again, I suggest that you watch the other videos on how to go ahead and log into your Chromebook without Wi-Fi and how to access on the actual day of e-learning. But again, these steps should help you make sure that if you're borrowing a GCSD Chromebook in grades 3 through 8, These should be the steps you should take the day before in order to make sure that you can open each one of your assignments and the files without the Wi-Fi. So good luck.